J Jones Cardio One, you already know what it is. I'm sitting there chilling, man. Was ready to do the big three and strip everything out of the truck today, and of course it had to rain. Today is Easter, so happy Easter to everybody that celebrates that fake ass holiday. Um, but anyway, this video is basically about the big three and what's getting ready to be installed in the Dakota build. Told you guys the next phase of that would be the big three, and then eventually we'll get to running the 2i through the firewall and back to the amps and so on and so on, which should be another little video. But anyway, I just want to run you guys through what I did and a little bit about what it takes in order to do the big three. Of course, you see the 2i sitting here. This is my alternator to positive run. This is my first negative run, and this little shorter one is my second negative run. The 4-out lugs did end up being what I needed. Of course, I couldn't use those itty bitty little 2-aughts. Didn't even bring those out. That's more like 8-gauge material. But I did tell you guys that I was going to be doing a comparison video to what this 2-aught is like versus, you know what I'm saying, I have a piece of some eBay 0-gauge here. This is eventually what I'm going to use in my house system. That's fired up sitting over there. It's paused right now because of course I'm on this video. But anyway, you can see this is supposed to be true 0-gauge. And I just want to give you guys a comparison of all these wires. I don't have my tripod handy, so it may be a little shaky. I do have one end that's cut. See if we can focus on that. There you go. This is more like 4-gauge, and I have some 4-gauge here for comparison as well. But first, I want to step up to this 2-aught. This is some of the best wire I've ever used. This wire is ultra heavy. This is the welding wire, and as you can see there, straight copper. I can't recall right offhand how many strands exactly this is, but this is, you know, some of the best wire that I've ever used. Shout out to Big Velo too, because he's the one that turned me onto this wire, and it's been a long time coming. You know, I'm not a professional by any means at this. I'm still in my rookie stages, even though I've been doing this for about 15 years, you know what I'm saying. I still learn new tricks as well. So shout out to you, Big Vel. I see you doing big things over there at the EMS. Can't wait till you get them on full power, homie. That's gonna be something ridiculous. Already, I'm sure doing big numbers now, but at least a 40. Anywho, let me get this 0-gauge in my hand next to this 2-aught. Trying to focus there best I can. Let's scoot back just a little bit. Okay, that's about as good as the focus is gonna get. But anyway, what you can see right away is the sheet, or the jackets on them. Can't really see that 2-aught, and I apologize for that, but believe me, it's let me try to scoot it back a little bit. Still really can't get a good shot of that. But this is the eBay on the right hand side, and on the left hand side is the 2-aught. There's a better shot of it. And as you can see, this jacket on the right hand side is just ridiculously big, and you get what you pay for, man. You know, and I knew that going into it. This was just something cheap that I could get in a hurry. Of course, over here on J Jones Cardio One, we always on a budget, so you know that's what they're looking like beside each other. And as you can see right away, that the 2-aught is just shining through. However, this eBay wire, I will give it its credit. This is some CCA, copper clad aluminum, but it does have a gang load of copper in there as well. That kind of makes up for the size difference, in my opinion. If you were going to run this eBay wire, I would definitely suggest doubling it up. You know, maybe a sky high dual input or something like that, because it's not that's actually what I was running before I redid the Cavalier. I ran 2 runs of this back. That's what I had in there, and it held up. I mean, I never caught fire or anything like that, but it's just when you're trying to get the most out of it, you know what I mean, it doesn't carry the amps like this other stuff will. So let me put this down and grab a piece of Monster 4-gauge. And I wasn't going to shave this down because I don't know how much or when I'm going to be using it again. This is from a truly old build. I think this came out of my cousin's CRX way back in the day. That's probably been at least 10 years ago. But anywho, let's get you a comparison of these two. And as you can see, this monster cable jacket, focus, is nowhere near as thick as this eBay jacket is. You know, just look at that, and you can tell that this 4 gauge on the right is just every bit as big as that 0 gauge. I would have shaved that down and gave you a better comparison, but like I said, I don't know when I'll be using it again, so I didn't want to waste wire just for the video purposes. But anyway, I have some other 4 gauge. This is just a 4 gauge cable, eBay, just like that 0 gauge was. And again, I don't know when I'll be using this or what I'll be using it for, so I didn't cut the end off. But I just want to give you a comparison of what it looks like next to the eBay 0 gauge. And they pretty much look the same to me. The only thing I can tell that's different is the jacket size. So I want to put them all 3 together now and give you a comparison to see what they all 3 look like. Now, just because they're not cut down, you know, don't get it twisted. This monster is definitely the biggest out of everything that's sitting here. The only thing that's different is the 0 gauge jacket. But if you look at the actual wire, you know, this copper right here is just ridiculous. This monster is some really good stuff. But yeah, that's what I was dealing with. Let me put them all 4 together. So now we got the 2/0, the 0 gauge, and the 2 4 gauges. And by far you can tell this 2/0 is the business. So but anyway, I just want to take you guys over a little what I used. Of course, I used the 2/0 as my wire. This light is hurting me. It's killing me. But again, there's another little shot of that. And then I had used some black tape, because I always black tape before I put the heat shrink on. Always. I did end up using the 4.0 lugs. So shout out to EJ6 in base. ENG6 in base, I do believe is his name. I did end up using the 4/0, and they work beautifully. Of course, those 2/0 wouldn't work at all. And so I appreciate that video, man. And thanks for taking the time to make that. I don't know if I ever said that or not, but YouTube's a beautiful thing. So thank you again. I don't know if it's going to work quite yet because I haven't tested these wires, but I'm pretty sure it will. Still think I could have buzzed the hole through here and soldered, or just put solder in here and just kind of stuck the wire down in there instead of doing it the way that I did it. But you know, it is what it is. You see my little shavings here, my little trophies from the wire, and this jacket is insulated 100%, so you can see that as well. You see a little paper in there, whatnot. I did use this heat shrink right here. This is some good stuff. This is their cheaper brand, but it is some good stuff. The Worthington propane tank, of course, you know what I'm saying, for the heat shrink. The scissors to cut for the black tape, some black tape, and then I threw a little knife in there. Why it's there, I have no idea. I also used my hydraulic crimper, which is worth its weight in gold. I think that was less than $50, and hell, I've crimped already well over 100 crimps, and it's doing just fine. It does leak a little bit of hydraulic fluid, and you can find that right there on eBay. You know, nothing over here is out of anybody's reach because we always do this on a budget. So anyway, I know we're coming up on about 10 minutes, and I apologize for making it too long, but I do believe the next video will be the install of these materials and let you guys know how that's working. I'm going to check the voltage, of course, before and after, show you what's there before and after, and then we'll be running the 2/0 through the firewall back to the amps, and you already know the deal from there. It's going to come together real quick. So I appreciate y'all stopping through and checking out Jay Jones and what he got going on this afternoon. Nothing but peace and love. Deuces.